Hey everybody, it's Tom Woods. I wanted to say a few words about GOP presidential candidate Herman Cain, who's attracted a lot of support, particularly Tea Party support, and has been called a Tea Party favorite. Now, I'm not singling him out because he's by any means the worst GOP presidential contender, but I'm at sort of a loss of other candidates to talk about. I mean, I could talk about Quiz Bowl champion Rick Santorum. I could talk about Tim Pawlenty, although what's there to say? I remember Sean Hannity actually saying before the first GOP debate, all eyes are on Tim Pawlenty. Well, speak for yourself, Sean. All eyes are on establishment bore Tim Pawlenty? You wish. Or Newt Gingrich, who has betrayed the free market and conservatism over and over and over again, his own stated principles. I could talk about Mitt Romney, but what is there to say? I mean, Mr. Plastic Man, what is there to say about Mitt Romney that hasn't already been said? And yet Herman Cain supported Mitt Romney for president in 2008. He looked at this plastic man who will say whatever he thinks the boobs want him to say to get elected, and Herman Cain thought, that's my man. Red flags ought to be going up right about there. Or how about TARP? He supported the whole bailout regime of 2008, and he told us this was good economics. We got to get rid of all these free market purists, he called them. He said the Bush administration was giving us good information about the financial crisis, and so we needed this program. Well, at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a resource page I've assembled where I can link to some articles that back up the things I'm saying. And I'm going to link you to David Stockman, formerly of the Reagan administration, and his own evaluation of TARP, which he more or less describes as one of the worst public policy atrocities of recent decades. Or then Afghanistan. We're told that Herman Cain can't tell us what his Afghanistan policy will be until he takes office. Well, you know, that's like a teensy-weensy bit of a problem there. Or what about the Patriot Act? We're told by Herman Cain that 90% of the Patriot Act is right on. And that the other 10%, he can't actually delineate to us what that is, what provisions would be contained in that 10%. But don't worry, he's going to more or less side with the Patriot Act because given that 90% of it is good, we got to do what we got to do. Well, this is an offense against the Constitution. It's an offense against American traditions. And on my resource page, I'll link you to Bruce Fein, also of the Reagan administration, telling the truth about the Patriot Act. Or the economy. In 2005 and 6, we were told by Cain that there's no housing bubble. The media just made this up because it doesn't like Republicans. And as late as 2006 and then beyond, he's telling us that the economy's fine, you know, the statistics look great, this is just a media fabrication. This was what we got, and I personally think there are plenty of people like this in Washington already who are completely clueless about the condition of the economy, as practically all the candidates in 2008 even had been. And then finally, we could talk about the Federal Reserve. Herman Cain headed the Federal Reserve of Kansas City and has flip-flopped on the issue of whether the Fed ought to be audited, but he's argued that, well, there's no need to audit the Fed, you're not going to find anything. Well, that just goes to show he doesn't even understand the question. It's not like we're looking to audit the Fed to see if Ben Bernanke has been printing up money and using it to go on vacation to the Bahamas. The issue is there are a lot of unanswered questions that are very specific about how the Fed handled the financial crisis. We want answers to those questions, and we can get them with an audit. So in summary, why would we rush to support this guy whom we know very little about, and what we do know about him seems to run counter to what the Tea Party is supposed to be standing for, if they're not just going to be another flash in the pan nothing? Why do we flock to this guy when we've got a man who's got a 30-year consistent track record, who has supported the ideas of freedom in good times and bad, regardless of what it has meant for his personal popularity? And that, of course, is Ron Paul. Now, for my resource page where you can read more about these topics, check out tomwoods.com/Cain. And for more videos, make sure and subscribe to the channel at youtube.com/TomWoodsTV. Thanks for listening.